that are enough for them to carry out their responsibilities. That is issue number one, and which is extremely important. Issue number two is we have a persistent problem, and as I've said, and it's important. We will also have media engagement in the evening, and I hope that we can. This is the headquarters of the region, and in this region, Western region, we have one unique challenge: the question of goons and gangs, and particularly the criminal activities that are perpetrated by gangs and goons, and taking control of our communities, including in our rural areas. Let me say this, that as a security team and as the government of Kenya, the National Police Service cannot abdicate its responsibility to civilians. It's the duty of the National Police Service to provide security. And therefore, we have requested our leaders to work with us to make sure that civilians do their civilian work and the security issues are done by security officers. All those criminal activities that are being undertaken in groups in the name of gangs, whether you are calling yourselves 42 Brothers, China Squad, Mbogi, all those groups, we have to be very honest to ourselves. This is government, civilized government of Kenya. All young people who are struggling with unemployment, we must find other ways of engaging them, not to carry crude weapons like knives, machetes, among others. We must ensure that all of us are submitting to the authority under the Constitution, under the National Police Service, to make sure that it keeps our country safe. I think that it is in the interest of any person who is in leadership in this region, it's the interest of the chiefs and assistant chiefs that we are going to engage, that this region becomes a place where democracy flourishes. No one will use force to force or goons to force somebody to say or believe on certain ideas of another person. And also, we cannot do legalize criminal activities by using goons. That way, if we all, and this is not a problem that just happened, it's a persistent problem that has been here for a long period of time. I must tell you that part of the directions we are going to take, because it's not only Western and Nyanza, we have a problem in Nairobi metropolitan area. So the areas covering Kiambu, Muranga, Machakos, parts of Kajiado, all these issues must be dealt with wholesomely. We also have a bit of problem in Mombasa, but it's not as exaggerated as such. And we have a problem in Isiolo, and particularly Isiolo town. And there is a reason why Isiolo also is part of this network, because we know the people who have been organizing to ferry goods from other cities to Isiolo and other places. So from a national perspective, we are going to have one clear direction how to dismantle these gangs, and particularly their financial status, the people who are financing, and the people who are hiring them must be engaged to peacefully exit that business, or the police will take the necessary legal action. I want to thank the judiciary for cooperating with the National Police Service, but we will need even greater cooperation. And I am ready to engage. We are ready from the security perspective to engage the judiciary to appreciate the danger that gangs pose if we don't do something insofar as enforcement is concerned. The other phenomenon that is serious here is the gender-based violence. Sexual and gender-based violence is a very prevalent. In this county, the national average is 32%. In this county, it's 36%. And in this region also is higher. You are aware that yesterday there was a girl who was defiled and brutally murdered in Migori. And the Inspector General of Police has already sent us a team from the headquarters to support the county team to make sure that we get to the bottom of that act that happened yesterday. But this is not just one case, like the case of Migori yesterday. It's happening all over. This county, as I said, 36%. Part of the reasons why it's prevalent is because of repugnant practices, including disco matanga, including wife inheritance, including issues that related to broken family ties. And this as the people who defile our children are those whom they expect greater protection. Again, we want to ask non-governmental organizations, churches, our chiefs, our assistant chiefs to raise greater awareness through barazas, to also the community to cooperate with us to make sure that these criminals are apprehended, and the National Police Service must take very stern action against this issue. Again, because it's widespread in many parts of the country, we are going to have to look at this issue even with greater focus. We do not have rescue centers here, so it's important also that the county government invest in rescue centers to make sure that we can deal with these issues. The fourth issue, which is persistent in this area, is the question of illicit alcohol and drugs. Again, unfortunately, Kisumu is the third leading county when it comes to the proliferation of illicit alcohol. Kisumu is also the fifth leading county in the country when it comes to use of or substance abuse, including use of drugs. That is because it's a city, but also it's neighboring border place, and it is the biggest city in the region. So, and then because of the sugar industry, some of the adulterated ethanol also is distributed here in this county. Again, we had agreed with the National Police Service that there must be special operations in the whole region when we were in Kakamega, and this will be extended to Kisumu and this region to make sure that we target the perpetrators. It's also clear from intelligence report that the persons who are dealing with this alcohol not only operate from here, they have a link with Nairobi, especially in Kibera. They have a link also with what's happening in Vihiga and Kakamega. And there are particular persons who have been being trailed, and I'm sure that the enforcement will lead to very good results. So we have many other issues. We have land issues. Land issues are causing a lot of friction in the family. There is a lot of corruption in the lands ministry, and that is also perpetuating this issue of fights among communities, families, and we are going to engage the Minister of Lands to make sure that transparency is the norm within the lands ministry, and that they can follow the law in terms of land registration, among others. These are the smaller issues are also being dealt with, and I think mining is not a big problem here, but also there's a border issues between here and Kericho and Nandi, and that's being handled, and I've told the Ngao people to accelerate the process. There are some administrative units at the border that needs to be aligned so that then the chiefs on both sides can have better conversation to solve these issues amicably. I think I have summarized the issues here, and therefore I'd like to take about three questions. We will have media engagement later in the evening, so we're still around, but I can take three questions if there are three burning questions. Yes.
My name is the public transport sector, especially the border sector, the organization is very critical to the security affairs, and we've always mentioned that there are plans to include the association officials in sub-county security committees. How far and how can we have, when are we likely to see to have this effect?
That's a good question, and I also forgot to say that in the brief we had a long discussion about the use of some of the border operators by criminal gangs to carry out their criminal activities. And what's important is to have clarity in regulating them with their uniform, self-regulation, areas of operation. But also it's important for the county government to take charge of its responsibility as in providing transport here. And the National Police Service can help them where there is goons or gangs are taking over bus stages and other places, but they must be able to organize this very important mode of transport. Again, I have said that once they are organized and they have a leadership, they should be incorporated in the discussions of the sub-county security team, and that is ongoing. That will be an ongoing issue. From the time we have announced now, in the next sub-county security meetings, they will be invited. And in some counties, that has been the case. And it has helped a great deal in dealing with security challenges. I am sure also in this county that has been the case, but we need to enhance it. We need also to help them. Some of the border operators are really crying that they are being harassed by some goons and gangs. And so they also need protection. And we need to make sure that all this market, this business is well protected. Yes.
My name is from ADN. Two questions. There's a change in the way recruitment is being done. It's going to be done digitally. And let's expand on that. And if it will help in preventing the corruption and solving the second question is we are having the by-elections on November 22nd. And of course, you talked about political rules having been a very big issue. How ready is the National Police Service or the police to deal with the political campaigns during this particular period?
On the question of guidelines for recruitment, the National Police Service Commission is now currently in a meeting, and they will give us clarity of directions. I do not want to preempt the discussions. Of course, I have been briefed, and eventually we will have, we want no bribery. The recruitment to National Police Service doesn't go to the highest bidder. That is our plan. Corruption is one area. As you know, we have been accused in the National Police Service to be very corrupt. And in this Jukwaa Usalama, part of our discussion is how can we get rid of corruption in our midst. And part of that is also in our recruitment. We want to make sure that from the word go, the deserving persons are recruited to National Police Service, not those who have bought their way. So that is ongoing. On the question of by-elections, that the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission require the campaign, the aspirants to provide their campaign schedule. And that is not just for the sake of it. It's usually so that we can provide the necessary security support. So we are ready and prepared, and where there is need, because it's a few areas where we are having these by-elections, we are ready to support the sub-county security team by bolstering their strength, getting officers from other parts of the country to come and support them where there is need to ensure that there is law and we are maintaining law and order. It is also, you know, it is an election offense to disrupt a meeting of your competitor or to engage in criminal activity. So again, where IBC will find anybody committing election offense, we are ready to enforce it also in terms of ensuring that those people are prosecuted, charged, arrested, and prosecuted. Last one. I think we are good. Yeah, we are good. Let's leave it there so that we discuss more in the evening.